This just in. When the machines start making their own predictions, you know we've crossed into new territory. According to a recent article by Eric L. Schwartz for Tech Radar, ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude have all weighed in on what 2026 might look like. Not in a flying cars and robot butlers way, but in the small, quiet shifts that change how we work, shop, think, and run a business. In other words, this isn't a sci-fi forecast. It's more of a, why is my calendar suddenly updating itself kind of future. Let's break down what the machines think is coming and what it means for small business owners trying to keep up without losing their minds. First up, we've got ChatGPT, who predicts AI that feels like a background app. ChatGPT, the ever-helpful assistant, thinks AI will become so seamless in 2026 that most people won't notice it anymore. Instead of opening a chatbot and typing a request, your apps will simply know what to do, like a personal assistant that acts before you speak. You'll go to check your calendar, and your meetings will already be moved to suit your energy levels. You'll scroll past a half-written email only to find it finished in your tone, signed, and ready to go. Helpful? Definitely. Creepy? Just a little. The real issue, according to ChatGPT, isn't capability, it's consent. When summaries replace full content and decisions get made without asking you, you're not just saving time. You're giving up the chance to notice what's being left out. A shortcut is only helpful if you agree with where it ends. Next up, Gemini predicts AI that acts without being told. Google's Gemini paints a more optimistic picture, though it still sounds like a to-do list written by someone who's already outsourced their to-do list. Gemini thinks 2026 will be the year of closed-loop automation. That's a fancy way of saying your software will stop waiting for instructions. It will start observing, deciding, and acting. Meetings will be attended by AI, expense reports will be filed, follow-ups assigned, not because you asked, but because the system knew it had to be done. Search results? Gone. Replaced by direct answers with no citations. Fast, clean, and a little murky. It's not all backroom automation though. Gemini also sees AI stepping into your line of sight, literally, with smart glasses that overlay translations, instructions, or even personalized ads into your world. Not screens, not apps, just floating suggestions right where your eyes are already looking. The idea is that AI will save you from distractions, but it might also blur the line between your own thoughts and the nudges of a system that never sleeps. Then we have Claude, who predicts AI that hears, sees, and interprets context. Claude, always the quiet thinker, agrees that AI will be passive and ever-present, but adds a layer of environmental awareness. Imagine an app that hears your dog barking in the background and schedules a vet checkup. Or one that sees a medicine bottle in your photos and reminds you to refill a prescription. Claude believes AI will act more like a companion that picks up on context and reacts in helpful ways. It will reschedule appointments across apps, compare your insurance documents, and manage home repairs. Not because you asked, but because it noticed. Claude also sees AI becoming the tutor you never had. It will adapt to your learning style, your tone of voice, and even your attention span. Education gets more personalized, and so does everything else. The prediction is subtle but powerful. It's not about flashy new tech, it's about quiet saturation. By the end of 2026, AI might not wow you, it may simply blend in. Now here's what this means for small business owners. If you're wondering whether this will make running your business easier or more frustrating, the answer is yes. On the one hand, these predictions point to fewer admin tasks, less repetition, more time to focus on what matters. Your invoicing tool might chase late payments on its own. Your CRM might draft clients' check-ins. You might even get a gentle reminder to take a break before a migraine forms. But there's a flip side. When systems act on your behalf, they're also deciding what matters. If you don't understand how a tool works, you can't guide it. And if everything runs on autopilot, you may only notice mistakes after they happen. This doesn't mean you need to unplug everything and start handwriting receipts. But it does mean that in 2026, your job won't be to use AI. It will be to manage it. You don't need to be a tech expert. You just need to know what your tools are doing and whether you still agree with them. But before you hand it all over to AI, think about this. When tools become invisible, so do the risks. The predictions from ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude all assume something quietly unsettling. That AI will need near total access to your apps, messages, photos, tasks, and location to function this seamlessly. And that's not just theoretical. If your assistant is going to refill prescriptions based on photos, coordinate meetings across platforms, and listen for the right moments to jump into a Zoom call, it needs to be in everything. Watching, listening, predicting, helping, or, depending on your mood, creeping. That level of access means two things. First, your privacy isn't private. These aren't just helpful tools. They're owned by companies. Those companies have business models, shareholder pressure, and incentive structures that don't always put your personal boundaries first. Every AI decision relies on data, your data. And every action it takes is a reflection of what it's learned. Sometimes from you directly, sometimes from a million people who look vaguely like you in a spreadsheet. If AI is everywhere, then so is the company behind it. That means your messages, voice notes, calendar preferences, and personal habits aren't just seen. They're potentially stored, analyzed, and monetized. Whether that's for better user experience or just better ad targeting depends entirely on the fine print you didn't read. Second, who's responsible when it breaks? The more we hand off to automation, the harder it is to spot when something quietly goes wrong. It's like your roof. You don't think about it until the leak appears. You don't notice AI booked the wrong flight, reordered 100 rolls of toilet paper, or confirmed a quote that's $10,000 over budget until you're cleaning up the mess. But unlike a broken pipe, the damage here might not be obvious until it's already affected your clients, your finances, or your reputation. And who takes responsibility? You clicked accept. The AI followed protocol. So the company, the developer, the algorithm, good luck tracing the decision tree once the system is running itself. This doesn't mean you should fear the tools, but it does mean you should stay in the loop. Automation is helpful. Abdication is risky. So your role isn't going anywhere. When people talk about AI, they often ask, will it replace me? That's the wrong question. The better question is, who's still making the decisions? In 2026, AI won't feel like something you use. It will feel like something that runs quietly in the background. That's convenience, yes, but convenience is only useful when it aligns with your goals. The key is clarity. Know what you want, know what your tools are doing, and make sure they match. If your marketing feels like a blur of apps, tools, and half-finished ideas, the solution isn't more automation. It's sharper communication. So get my 5-minute marketing fix and start with one sentence that makes your value clear. You can download it for free in the description below, or you can go to strategicmarketingtribe.com/fix. But what about you? What's one small task you'd never let AI handle on its own, no matter how convenient it sounds? I'll go first. Anything involving replying to a client directly. It's not worth saving 5 minutes if I lose 5 years of trust. Okay, your turn. What's off limit for AI in your business? Let me know in the comments. I'm Vicky Sidler from the Strategic Marketing Tribe, and I post helpful news updates for small businesses every day.